It's that time. It's time for the dopest sports show on radio to invade your airways. It's The Crush. And we're streaming live on the Sensation Station Network. And I am your humble co-host, Steve Glaze. And with me as always, it's that guy, Maceo. What's happening, Herd?
Hey, man, what's good, brother? What's good?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Boy, this gonna be entertaining tonight.
It's gonna be crazy tonight,
yes,
man.
indeed.
We got a little surprise for y'all on the trick or treat.
Yeah.
It didn't come on a weekend, but it came on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But what's happening, Wendy? How you doing?
You.
I'm good. We gonna get a camera on you over there. We got a camera on. We got a camera on.
We got enough cameras in the building. Right.
Y'all are so wrong.
I just want him to speak real quick so y'all can hear the voice
He back.
of Atlanta. Can you say something to the people, man?
Trey Young for
There it is. Ryan Cameron's in the building.
What up, though?
He's here with us. We got a lot to talk about, man. That voice is synonymous with sports on multiple levels right now.
Try. If he get up there, don't say praise. Don't even try it. Don't say it. I can't do it. Too many games right there. There's too many games.
And also, he'll be back on these airways on Monday.
That's right.
We'll talk about that in a minute, too. You know, can't keep a good man down. Businessman, got everything going
Man,
these
back
days.
like Jordan wearing the 4-5. Can't take my jerseys back down. I had to come with a new number. For sure.
We also, if we cool one-on-one, we got a lot of stories to talk about. DJ Durkin he was killed one day, he's gone the next, right, Maceo?
Yeah, he's done. He's out of there.
Yeah.
Maryland. And we got to talk about an old friend of ours, Damon Evans. What does this mean for him in Maryland?
Damon, he was able to skate today.
He skated today.
He was able to skate.
We'll skate tomorrow. It's going to be...
Yeah, he's going to be all right. He
All
good.
right.
He good.
And we got other good stories going on right now, man. But today, the reign of the king is back.
Man.
Ryan King, the R to the Y to the A-N, as they call it.
Boy.
The first time I seen Ryan, 1991 step show at Mars Brown. Way back in Mars Brown in the gym.
Hey, man. That's real right there. I got some Morris Brown stories, boy, I tell you.
Way back in the day, boy.
Lord.
We put some years in back there.
That's all right. We still here.
We still here.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We still here. What, you ready for this, Mace?
Hey, man, listen. We teased it so much.
Yeah,
everybody, man, what you got?
We just
What you
kept
got?
poking y'all. Y'all
Don't
kept
worry about
wondering what was coming.
It's here now.
It's here.
It's going to be crazy.
You got this legend hat on that's tight. Well, I can't wait
Yeah,
for
we're
the
getting
legends.
all of that.
We're
We're getting all of that.
Wendy, you ready?
Of course.
When we're going to talk about other things.
We taking back the club success.
We can't.
Wow. like,
All that.
this all true to Atlanta. That's what we kept telling you.
It's
This
true to Atlanta. This what
tonight.
true to Atlanta means. Y'all sit back, relax, man. Get ready. It's about to go crazy. Let's go.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
This is Amari Batman Karen. You listen to The Crush, the only sports radio show that they're going to keep it real in the A on Sensation Station Network.
Hey man, we're going into this question interview brought to you by Orasi Software. The Orasi team is committed to provide full lifecycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-ready products. Orasi's models, when a customer engages one of us, they engage all of us. Go to Orasi.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce our guest, sir.
Coming back to the microphone. Don't know how he didn't get the Doug High, because he's Collier Heights finest.
Wow.
Collier Heights finest.
I'm a move, man.
Okay.
I was supposed to go to Collier Heights. I went Harwell.
Right.
And then, then I went Collier Heights. And then I was supposed to go to Doug. And then she said, we're going to Smyrna. And I end up at Nash Middle School.
Right.
And then I end up at Campbell Smyrna. So, it's in my blood back before Doug had windows.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I try to tell y'all, this is strictly true to Atlanta.
That's right.
Y'all wouldn't understand that if y'all not from here. Ryan Cameron, back to the microphone. What up, Ryan?
Man, I'm glad to be here.
What's happening, brother?
I done heard a lot about this show, man. I was wondering what my invite was.
Sneak it back out there. Hey, Ryan.
I'm saying, I was wondering,
Let's get back.
me and E been trying to get this thing
Yeah,
together for a
I
minute.
know it, man.
And I come in with the apology first off, because, I know how it is when you have a slated to appear.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to say the guest and then like, man.
We learned a tough lesson about that.
I know, I always say slated to appear, so I told him I'm on the way, and then I just want to make sure that I got it clear, so here I am. We good.
That's good. We good.
Yeah, we good.
We'll talk about it, Ryan. We know about you doing your venture, but you're coming back to us, man. The people love the voice, man. Talk about coming back to the airways.
man. I think what it was, man, is I felt like I was listening to a lot of radio, and I just felt like I saw people just mailing it in. You know what I'm saying? I think when y'all come to work, you have that passion because it's in your blood. And for a lot of people, as I go up and down the dial, I was like, these cats is just like getting a check. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to, I always want to leave the radio with two things, either them wanting more and them glad that, kind of sad that it went off. Right. Like, man, I can't believe it's over. So when the offer started coming in, it was a lot of people that was like, are you going to stay retired? But it just wasn't, it was just a shift. And then when Alfred Liggins and Madam Kathy Hughes called and they offered me a 360 deal, which is kind of unheard of for somebody local to be doing, to have radio, digital, television, and also the internet, it was something that I couldn't turn down. So it was like to be able to get more than one bag, but radio kind of being like the beginning of all of it. So since I signed, I've already got some other stuff in the works, and the paperwork is about to dry on some TV stuff. I'm like, my grandma used to always say, don't say nothing until it happens, let it happen, then tell them. Because you don't want to have to go back and say, man, I thought you said you go.
Boy, they come back and let you know.
They'll let you know.
And you said you had
Man, what you said?
Yeah, I thought you said, but you didn't even do what you said. I thought you said you're going to be in the lead. You know what I'm saying? Well, I learned that the hard way.
Ryan, one of the things I know that just draws you to a broad audience is the fact that you are Atlanta. A lot of people come and go in the city. They don't understand the city, and that's something that you will always have the advantage over other people.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I tell everybody, you got to get you at least one Atlanta friend. Because you'll be, like, I watch every day people get on 400 right there at Lenox Road, and all the red lights are right there. It's brake lights on every car, and they still get on.
Right.
And I'm like, if you got you one Atlanta friend, they'll be like, you know what you need to do, bro? Go down to West Wesley, take a left on north side, take north side all the way down, take a right on Hollowell, that'll get you all the way to Douglasville. You'll be at Six Flags in 25 minutes.
Right.
Get you one. Atlanta friend. Hashtag.
Speaking of Atlanta, man, we talk about, because we're a sports show and we see now. And I wanted to ask you, because we already knew you were the Hawks.
Yeah.
The voice of the Hawks. But then this
Year
year.
14.
You're 14 at the Hawks, but now you the voice of the Mercedes-Benz and Atlanta Falcons, man. Talk about getting that and continuing to be the voice, because you got more jobs than a Jamaican right now.
Well, you know what, man? I mean, I think, a long time ago somebody told me that I was going to be doing sports, and I thought that the Hawks was it. And then I got the pregame show with the Falcons, and I said, well, that must be it.
Yeah.
And then this came along, and it was like, they kept saying, when I saw the presentation deck, they kept telling people, hey, the NFL has decided they're going to loosen up a little bit.
Okay.
That they'll allow, and if you notice, if you listen to other games, I'm sure like y'all do, the games are different now. It used to be like, Ito Smith, 3-yard carry,
Right.
it's 3rd and 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the NFL was like, all right, let's go ahead and loosen up again. So they allowed the home team people to come in. So the Falcons, the GM, Rich McKay, they said, well, and my boss, Pete Soto, said, let's go out and get a guy like Ryan Cameron. And they said, get a guy like Ryan Cameron. And then one day Rich McKay's like, why don't y'all just go get Ryan Cameron? Right? And so when they came to me, I was like, and the first call I made was to the Hawks CEO, Steve Koonin. Mm-hmm. Out of respect, and I was like, hey, I got this offer. He was like, no, I go out of my way to make sure the games never coincide. It's going to be good for us. It's going to be good for them. We're all together, and the rest is kind of history. And what was funny about it is that people who, it's a 259-page rule book in the NFL.
Yeah.
So people was like in the preseason, like, man, I don't know, bro. You don't sound like you are. And I was like, first of all, preseason games never count.
Right.
Second of all, I'm trying to learn this rule book because I have such, I have a short amount of time that I can say anything.
Right.
Before the team, either they break the huddle, I can't say nothing then. 20 seconds left before the play clock, I got to shut up.
Right.
And it's a fine. I mean, I'm not talking, I'm like,
Wow.
can get fired.
Wow.
And they're like, it's a warning. Like, so I got to make sure that I'm paying attention to the down and the distance and all that stuff.
Wow.
And then I can get crunk.
Right.
So once I got through the preseason and we got into the regular season, that's when I was able to go, I know, you know, we know, Smith. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't do that in the preseason. People were like, oh, I get it now. I was like, no, you got to learn. You don't just jump in the Ferrari and just say, you know what, I'm finna go to Florida. And you ain't never drove no stick.
You know, they
don't work
people
like
think
that.
it's easy, man. They think you just jump behind the mic and just start saying
Dog.
things, man.
It is, in the Hawks games, I have 90 reads.
Wow.
90 different times that I have to, and that's not even talking about the play. So look at, like, in a Hawks game, you are the guy who's telling me, cheerleaders, hair the hawk, whatever's about to come. You're telling me who's the fouls on, what it is, and then I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
So it's a whole lot of stuff going on. People just think I'm out there going, "Tee," and it's way more than that.
Man, we just get started, man. As you can see, man, we got the voice of Atlanta in the building. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Already coaching? Everybody's a coach these days. I get it. Life coach, relationship coach, financial coach. But you want to be a coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way. Or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing curriculum. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com to learn more.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council. Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold
I want to be
day.
a football stadium.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
SSNATL.com. Sensation Station Network.
We're back, man. Sit here with the Ryan King. Ryan Cameron's in the building. He's back. Make sure I was the last one. Go ahead, sir.
So, I got to get into this ATL thing, man, because you basically raised so many of the young ATLians. In the entertainment industry. Think about a group like Outkast.
Yeah.
You was able to kind of see their rise. What was it about them that you knew they were going to be like a national phenomenon?
Well, I think, for like Dungeon Family and what Rico and everybody was doing, it was like they just refused to just be country. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, like if you go back to my comic view days, I got on Falcons and Braves jerseys. I've been representing the A since day one.
Right.
And I think for a lot of people, it's like when people say this, they go, man, Atlanta, I'm going to Atlanta. Atlanta's slow. I said, well, you should have no problem then. if we so slow, then wherever you coming from, you should be just be able to come down here and dominate. But as far as like, Dungeon Family and Outkast and all those people, man, I just thought that they, like he says in that video, the South got something to say.
Right.
And I think that's what happened,
What about Ludacris?
Luda!
Man, I mean, when Chris Level was...
Luda!
I remember when he was at Georgia State with me, being on the air with him.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, a lot of people have said throughout the years that I was like kind of hard to work for. But I think like if you ask Chris and you ask Lala in the things that they've been able to do in their philanthropic stuff and even in their own personal careers, it's like I kind of say that you're not going to work harder than me. And so anybody who's working with me or for me, I hold them to the same standards. I mean, look at what Chris told me the other day that he was absolutely debt-free. Wow. Now, this man got houses and mansions in Beverly Hills. He got an airplane. He got another crib. And, so it's like he's been able to parlay his celebrity to the point of where he can just live his life. Plus, he's got 3 daughters. Right. He is now you go from Fat Rabbit to 3 daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like life. They always say that the player always get daughters.
Yeah, always get daughters.
I got 2 daughters. The harder the player, you gonna get them girls. in-laws.
Daughters.
Yeah.
How to play as curse.
Yeah, play as curse. So yeah, Luda is a great friend of mine and has never let the Atlanta down, even though he's from other parts unknown. Like they used to say back in the wrestling days, from parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
But he's a great friend and a good role model for everybody.
But talking about that, you've affected a lot of lives and careers in this business industry, in this entertainment industry. You think about it from people to now. Even I can see in your fingerprint on games like the Hawks and people that working in there. How does that make you feel over the years that you've helped so many people in this industry?
Well, I always tell people, I think that for us, you just don't keep score. A lot of times people want to keep score with stuff that they do for people.
Right.
And then they feel like you're supposed to give it back to them. And you're not really supposed to keep score. You're just supposed to do it. I mean, I was over at Harper Archer today, and I was talking to the kids about give good, get good. And the fact I said, how do you feel when you go somewhere and you see that person out there and they're asking for money, or you see a mama with a child and they're like, well, I don't feel right. I feel sad. I'm like, so what do you do? I said, do you give them? Well, I don't have no money. I may have I said, but you got to give, because once you give, you're going to get it back. You know what I'm saying? I think any of the people that I've always tried to help, I never look for something in return, because the very first time, like, I was 4 hours late for my internship at V103. Like, I showed up 4 hours late because I didn't believe it was going to happen, because Mike Roberts, who is the legend, was like, Ryan, if you want to be an intern, come down. And I was like, yeah. And I was riding around getting hungry, if you can read between the lines, you know what I'm saying? I was riding around getting hungry and showed up, and when I was walking off the elevator, he was walking on the elevator. He said, you must not be serious about this. But he gave me something that I've used from that point on. He said, everybody gets one chance with me to mess up. You ain't got to tell me why, who, what. You get one, and we good. But after that, we done. And I've kind of used that in my own career. I've had interns, and I've had people in my life or whatever. They may come. I say, you ain't even got to give me all that, man, because everybody get one, because somebody gave me one.
Right.
If he would have gave me that one chance, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
One of the things I love that you do, the Ryan Cameron Foundation.
Yeah, word.
Talk about how did that come together?
Man, soup kitchens, man. My grandma used to take me down to the soup kitchen. I'll be, down there scared, and I was like a little kid and handing out sandwiches and soup and shaking.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where my give back came from, but it started way back then. And so when I started doing that, when the foundation came along, we had a bowling challenge. And again, this is when I was like single. It just started till midnight on Thanksgiving night, you know what I'm saying? So everybody from all the cities, when they weren't putting on the clear shoes, they would come over, and Andre Rison and Hammer and Prime Time and TLC. So it was a way to get the stage, the screen, and all of them together for a cause. And I was just giving away $5,000 to a charity. And then there was a big scandal with a big national charity, and they was like paying for their cribs and buying cars. But I was like, I can't do this no more. So that's when the foundation started, because I was like, I need to make sure I can, pinpoint where this money goes.
Yeah. When we come back, man, we're going to talk about it. The new show, Ryan Cameron Uncensored.
Yeah.
Where did you get that name from? Oh, we can't wait. I got a story that I gotta give.
Gotta give it to
it, man. I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him.
Y'all sit back. We'll be back.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't miss out on all the action at Georgia State Stadium this year by purchasing your single-game tickets now. Single-game tickets for Georgia State football are just $25 as the Panthers face arguably the toughest schedule in the Sun Belt Conference. You can't get up close and personal to the action if you're not in the stadium. Visit online, georgiastatesports.com/ticks, or call the ticket office at 404-413-4020 to purchase your tickets today.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Uncle Dan? Mom? Dad? If you store your guns properly, so not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
Safer when my friends come over. As your neighbor, I'll feel safer.
As a school teacher, I'll feel safer.
We'll all feel safer.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
What's up? It's Garrison Hurst, University of Georgia. You're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network. Go Dog.
Tell Lee in the building. You can tell she in the building. You can tell she in the building. Hey, man, check us out on IG, man, at The Crush Sports Talk, man. Check us out. Right now, man, you listening to The Crush. On Recruiter 101, man, we got the Ryan Cameron.
Hey, it's on the right, baby. It's on the right.
First of all, let me just say a shout out to Coach Banks. Coach Banks, you will be back. Every time we got Ryan on me, we'll forget about you.
Man, Ryan is a man of the people.
Yeah, he's a man of the people.
He's a man of the people.
Y'all bump somebody for me?
No. He said, now that we got you, he'll know.
Yeah, I don't want to be, getting too popped in the parking lot, bro. All right, okay, all right. Continue.
Talk about it, Ryan. You're coming back. November's your time, November 5th. Talk
always,
to us about
man.
it.
You know what? I got off the phone with Ms. Hughes this morning, and I said, I want to thank you for empowering me. The reason that show is called Ryan Cameron Uncensored is because sometimes in terrestrial radio, revenue kind of dominates, and some things that you want to say, you can't. Because, it may affect the money or blah, 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 and you got to remain neutral. And I said this in my last interview, is like, I felt like when Keisha Lance Bottoms was running for mayor, that it was such a close-knit race that I wanted to be able to say, hey, this is what y'all need to do. And I kind of went and said that's what I wanted to do. And they was like, no, we got to remain neutral. And I was like, it was kind of like forcing my hand on why I made the decision to step away. Because I was like, I really don't want to be that guy that on my watch that this happened. So the same thing is true now. I mean, the reason I'm coming back on November 5th is because it's the day before we elect Stacey Abrams, because that's what's going to happen.
Right.
And I think that, being able to say that on the radio and tell people, like, not only she's the best qualified candidate, but a lot of people don't understand that these midterm elections, they're going to go in, they're going to draw these new districts. Right. And you know what? The governor has to approve whether or not they agree with the way these new lines are drawn. So if that's a Republican governor or the other guy, then we're not going to have a seat at the table. We're not going to have a voice. So it's more than just the historical perspective that she'll be the first African-American female in the history of the country, which sometimes people are like, oh, my God, that's great. But I'm like, it's really, like, sad that we are in 2018, we talk about this is the first time that somebody's got this far. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is to be able to go on the radio, and it's about the voter that is the unlikely voter. So I'm telling everybody, like I told your person in here today with the sticker, you got your sticker on, but you got to take your grandmama. You got to take, like, the unlikely voter is the person who's voted before, but they not doing it this time. So you got to be like, hey, grandma, did you vote? No, baby, I ain't voted nowhere, but come on, let's go up to the church and let's vote, because
it's right around the corner.
1 million people have voted before the election already.
Right.
So, this thing is going to come down to neck and neck, and I'll be able to say that without somebody saying, what are you doing? Why? Because I don't have to do that anymore because it's Urban One, it's Radio 1. That's what we do.
So I thought personally when you had walked away, I was like, I think Ryan is just kind of the demographic of the music that V103 was trying to push. I just felt, I was like, because you could hear it in your voice sometimes, you was just like, we got to play that again. I mean, because I've listened to you so long. You can tell when you like a song, and you just like, okay, it's enough of this. If I had to listen to Walk It Like I Talk It one more time.
You know what? But you know what? I think every genre has its own fan base. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people say, man, I can't believe the music did this and the music did that, and they talking about this. I was like, man, I grew up on Uncle Luke, man.
Right.
I grew up on Raheem the Dream, man. Freak Nasty, and everything was about freak. You know, Silk was like freak 'em. Like we liked the song, but we wasn't going out, like, hey, girl, let me lick you up and down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So every song, every generation has this genre. I just felt like, for me, it was more like this was an opportunity of a lifetime to get into this branding company, which is Threaded.agency, which is sports branding. So if you're trying to sell season tickets, you're trying to sell patches for your uniforms, all these things that we're doing now, working with so many teams, it's about really going to a whole nother level of just not just being an employee, but being a partner. And that was the whole thing about it.
One thing I like to always ask people like you who've been in it. Jay-Z had one of my favorite lines of all time. He's just not a businessman. He's a businessman. Talk about the Ryan Cameron, the business, and how you want it perceived and portrayed out there, man.
I just think for anybody who is fearful and is on the cusp of deciding whether or not they want to do something, some people have golden handcuffs. And, golden handcuffs means you're making hella money, but you don't like what you're doing. And you say, well, can I walk away from this money? And a lot of times people can't because they be like, man, I don't know. And I think in a lot of situations, you have to go out and see what it is that's out there because I would have never thought that I would be able to do all the things that I'm doing, plus, direct and produce the stuff that I'm about to do for television. Things that I've always wanted to do, but I was always, sometimes you let people put you in a box.
Right.
They take you off the street and they put you in a box and you can't break out of that thing until you decide to step away. And that's exactly what I said that I wanted to do was to step away and to see what would come up. And I had no idea it would be all this. Wow. No idea.
And what's crazy is getting outside that box. While you had your time off, what were just some of the things you kind of did to kind of like just keep yourself
I went to work every day. I go to work every day, at the agency because, and the one thing that I learned was like, conference calls, man, is like forever. If you've ever been on a conference call, but if you're on a conference call with Australia, that's a totally different time zone. They wide awake, and you like, hey man, we've been on this call for 4 hours, bro. And then people mute their phone and be like, well, what do you want to say, Eugene? Oh yeah, I'm here. And so I had to learn that side of the business. It's totally different, man. Marketing and being a global entity means that it is worldwide. And it's different time zones in the world. Didn't know that.
Come back, man. We're going to talk. I got to ask you about these sports in Atlanta, man.
Oh, I've been waiting.
We got to do sports in Atlanta.
I thought I was the crush, man.
Let's get it, man. We'll be right back.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then because tonight we're gonna have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia. Jerk Palace.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's. It's time to say.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay. Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, in the house, what you say now? Sensation Station Network live with the Crush Sports Talk Radio Show. I am Derek Frazier. I'm with Big Emmanuel tonight. Y'all can forget about it.
Hey, we back. Sitting here, man, with the Ryan King.
My little nephew down at Fort Valley, can you type on there how he can listen? Because he got a little sports talk show.
Okay.
And all they do is talk over each other. Man, I said, man, I can't listen to this, bro. Type in there how you can listen. So,
hey, man,
y'all got to look at each other.
So let's get into these sports, man. Tell people what you think about this year's Falcons, man. We 3-4 right now. We're coming off the break. Going to play the Redskins. What's your thoughts on Atlanta, these Atlanta Falcons?
I mean, you know, how long have y'all been working together?
4 years.
4 years, right? You know what he's going to do. He knows what you're going to do.
Right.
So next show, you gone. You gone.
Well.
And you gone for the next 30 shows. No matter who you put right there, it's not the same, right?
Right.
That is what's going on with the Falcons, with the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, after they learned each other, like, nobody could have predicted this level of injury.
Wow. Right.
And I'm not talking about, you know, something going for a couple of weeks. I'm talking about I'm talking about the whole entire season. So for those who are like naysayers and saying, man, y'all this, y'all that, but you can't just take Eugene, man. Hey, man, see you in 2020. It just don't work like that.
No,
so I think for people who are trying to figure out what the team is supposed to be, if we had all cylinders, if you got a 9 and you got all of them in there in the clip, it's a different thing than rubber bullets.
Right. Out here with pellets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can be constantly optimistic, but it's gonna be tough, man, because people not playing. Look what happened yesterday. Everybody got better.
Yeah.
They got better.
Real good.
And now Cam decided he want to play, right? And that's my homeboy. And he our homeboy, but then all of a sudden he want to play now. Drew Brees, for some reason, man, Voodoo is real.
Please retire.
You can't get to Buddy.
Please retire.
Right. Talk to
me. Hold on, man.
Oh, we got to call him, man. Oh, my bad. Hey, caller, what's your question on?
Oh, Mayfield Glaze, Mr. Cameron. I'm pressing on our guest coming into the show tonight.
Hey, man. What you got for us, Mike, man?
And I'm also pressing on all that energy that was out at these campaign offices for Stacey Abrams.
Yeah. Word.
Stood in line, for 7 hours to get those Stacey Obama tickets.
Stacey Obama.
There's a lot of energy out there, man.
Hey, Mike, man, you know it's big time, man. Like Ryan said, 1 million people already done voted. This big, man. This is a big time for us in Georgia.
Let's get it.
Anything else you got for Mr. Cameron, sir?
Oh, that's all I got, man.
Hey, man,
Well,
thank you
for coming in to do the crush.
Hey, you're welcome, man. I've been waiting on my invitation, man. They mailed it.
We did Pony Express.
This guy.
Hey, man. Thank you, Mike. What number did Mike call us at?
Mike called the show at 678-613-5857.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry to interrupt, sir.
Ryan, we got to talk about why does this city dislike Matt Ryan so much?
Come on, man. Please answer this for us,
man.
We hear this every day, man.
But you got to look at, like, if you're looking at paychecks and you Google paychecks, people going to go to the top. Like, people hate, like somebody used to always say, people don't hate on teams that aren't good. They don't hate on people that aren't good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that they want to compare Matt to everybody else, but you got to look at the greater picture. Is like, we've had our chances.
Yeah.
Now, you can't say we didn't have our chances, because I was in Houston.
No, man.
Sitting there minding my own business.
Yeah, man.
28-3, and they text me. My cop said, hey, man, they putting up the barricades. I said, bruh, don't put up them barricades. I said, don't put up them barricades. So whether you like, hate, have disdain, or hoping for the best, the team has had our chances, and he balling right now.
Yeah,
balling.
Ridiculous.
Come on, man.
Balling, right?
He balling right now, because it would be a time where we'd be hoping that the pick six wouldn't come before the end of the half. Come on, y'all. We've seen it. But Matt is balling, and if all the team was, he would be on the same MVP caliber that he had been before if we were all of sorts. Come on, man. Be honest now.
Right.
Y'all heard it, so I ain't got to argue no more. I'm
Right.
tired of arguing.
I don't argue with nobody about it no more. I'm like,
I went to a 15-minute. Make sure gave me 10 minutes just to go off on people.
Hey, man, it's like this. I say this. Look at all of the athletes that have come through. Mm-hmm. How many people do you see that are now actors and athletes named Denzel? We got a Denzel everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You got a Denzel Valentine or Denzel. That means Denzel must have did something, right? Right?
Yeah, right.
How many Shaquilles have we seen?
Right.
You got Shaquille, Shaquem, Shaq, with a minute of them, right? How many Kobe's? You see the new Kobe?
Yeah.
You know anybody named Kobe? So when you do that argument, be like, all right, well, who they name their baby after? Ain't no new Kobe's. There's a million Shaqs.
We'll be right back.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Major key alert. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by GetSchooled and the Ad Council.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you going to do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
This is big business. This is the American way.
Station Network.
See ya.
Time for the Hot Seat Hotline.
4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all know how to do it, man. We got Ryan in the building. We're going to throw you some hot questions, Ryan. You get us some hot answers. You ready, sir?
Let's go.
Get into it, Mason. Favorite Atlanta athlete?
Oh, prime time. Hands down. Told me a long time ago, if you got more than one skill, get more than one check.
There it is. Boy, that multiple streams income.
Prime time.
Multiple streams of income.
That's right. Yacht dreams equal revenue streams.
What? First time you did the daddy-daughter dance, what was your thoughts about it, man?
Need to be sponsored by Kleenex. Because you see grown men who have never danced with their daughter. Like, you got to look at it. If your daughter doesn't get married, that dance never happens. Because that's the first dance. So, you know, you got younger daughters, you got daughters in their 40s and 50s, and they get out there on that floor, and they look, and everybody all dressed up. Like, this year, is for the year 15, it's going to be a sneaker ball.
Oh, yeah.
So, because we see tired of little girls holding their shoes, and dad's like, man, feel like Ric Flair, and these gators, I can't keep these alligators down. So, you're going to wear sneakers this year, man. We can't wait.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Favorite spot back in the day, Atlanta Live or 112?
Ooh, come on, man. It gotta be one. It gotta be the Tweezy.
Tweezy.
I used to host a miniskirt contest that didn't start at 2 a.m.
Accurate.
And it was on Sundays, which means all of the strippers were off. And every Sunday it would turn into nudity. Like they would start. Yeah, I mean they would be gathering around, and then eventually people would get naked to win. They was like, okay, I mean, and they be doing a tomahawk chop with the so come on, man, the Tweezy already.
Your favorite Hawk player to call when he went to play?
Number 27, out of the Republic of Georgia. Always, man. Zaza like, you have made me famous for that. I'm like, give me one of them rings, bro.
Because he got them now.
He got them now. Zaza got 2 rings.
He got 2. It's crazy. Your favorite interview doing radio?
Lionel Richie.
Oh, wow.
Lionel Richie told me that I was his favorite interview. And I tried to do something. I brought in a keyboard, like a little Casio joint.
Right.
And he talked about everything. Like, people don't know that Lionel Richie, like when he got divorced, his wife on stand, they asked her, well, you know, do you have a spending limit? She's like, no, I've never had a spending limit. And he's like, well, you never had a credit? No. And he told us on the radio, like Rodeo Drive, Lionel Richie owns most of Rodeo Drive. The real estate.
I heard that. What?
He said it on my show. Wow. So when you own Rodeo Drive, the most expensive land besides the Atlanta airport, you got money.
Yeah. Stupid money.
And he told us that he wrote Dancing on the Ceiling when he was on drugs, which explains why he wrote Dancing on the Ceiling.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Oh, what a feeling. Yeah, word.
Have you ever been starstruck by anybody?
Oh, most def. Yeah. When Dave Justice played for the Braves, he was married to Hallie, and they used to have the players' wives section, and she came and sat the game. She had on a Braves cap, and when I tell you, like, you've seen her in like pictures in the magazines, does no justice. Wow. And
no
pun.
justice.
But when I saw her, I was just like staring at her. Like, you know, like, I can't believe that you look way better than anything I've ever seen in any book. And she was just the sweetest thing ever, man. But I was like, really, like, almost like drooling.
Wow.
Because she's that beautiful.
The one person that you still hadn't met yet that you want to meet.
I tell you what's funny, right? And I met just about everybody. But my son asked me that question once. And it was so funny because he was like, Dad, who is the one person that you never met that you thought would be great? And I was like, Michael Jackson. And he was like, you want to meet him? I was like, not today.
Hey, Ryan, man, we thank you so much for coming on. Tell everybody what's going on. Plug it, man. So
Hey, man, Monday, man, November 5th on Magic 107.5, 97.5, 2 to 6.
Yes.
So we'll be walking across the street for the games. I looked out my office and saw both my part-time jobs. I can see the bands in the back and the State Farm Arena in the front. You know, we're going to have a good time because we're just trying to get people to understand that the traffic in the city, we closed, man. Don't nobody else need to move here.
No, we full.
We full. You know, like my girl, shout out to Javita Moore, that we full. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of energy. We're going to bring much energy, much laughs, and it is going to be the real voice of Atlanta because you can't get no more ATL than yours truly, Zone 1 Bankhead's own.
There he is,
There
man.
you go.
Atlanta, we always say Atlanta born, Atlanta bred.
And when I die, Willie Watkins.
You can put Willie in there. Thank you, man. We about to take this phone.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as